At least 9 more days until the Kansas City Chiefs are back on the field. In the meantime, as the back-to-back Super Bowl champs await their divisional playoff schedule, the team stays the course. Business as usual, sticking as close as they can to that regular routine to stay ready for next week. So it is time now to talk all Chiefs headlines during the playoff bye. Jump in with us, here we go. What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Happy Wednesday. I'm Hayley Lewis, and this is Chiefs News Daily. As we wait to see who Kansas City is going to host next weekend here at Arrowhead Stadium, let's talk through the road to Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. Who poses the biggest threat to the Chiefs' three-peats? Well, let's ask the experts around the league right now. Give us a like and subscribe on the KCSN YouTube channel, and let's get this one going. All right, no game this weekend for the Chiefs as they'll get some time to watch the wildcard slate unfold. Kansas City might not be in the game, but you know they have remained in the headlines as one big storyline has continued to linger that one certain Chiefs player would like to put to rest. Jason Kelce explains on the New Heights Show podcast as brother Travis does not hold back in his answer.
Well, there's some people alleging that it was a purposeful letting get your ass
I ain't
kicked.
scared of fucking nobody.
I'm not alleging this.
I wanted them in the fucking
I'm
playoffs.
not alleging this.
I want to slay every dragon one by one, like Mortal Kombat. I don't even want this to be like we play the lowest seed. Just give me the best teams.
I'm not, Travis. I'm just telling you what
AFC,
people are
NFC.
saying.
Give me
I'm not
all of
saying
them.
this.
Mortal Kombat style. I'll go through every fucking one of them, just giving them my best fucking effort. I ain't scared of a single soul, man.
You didn't want to see the Bengals in Burrowhead or in Cincinnati.
I'll play them at the Walmart parking lot. I don't give a shit. We can have our own game in the offseason where we really duke it out again. Listen, I love competing against the greatest. The Bengals were a fun-ass fucking team to watch there towards the end of the season.
All right, the storyline likely going to be gone next week as more pressing news emerges during the playoffs, but not before Stephen St. John on Sports Radio 810 defends Kansas City's choice to rest the starters.
When they put that gauntlet up against you and you clear it and you win all those games, guess what? If you get the 1 seed, you get to do whatever the hell you want. And that's rest everybody.
Yeah.
And if there's ever a team in the history of the NFL, or ever a team since Andy Reid has been here, that has desperately needed a couple of weeks off, isn't it this team?
Absolutely.
Isn't it this? And also, how many extra games has this team played over the past 5, 6, 7 years?
6 years.
It's like they played an extra season. If you add up all the playoff games
More, I bet
and the
more.
Super Bowls, it's like they've had an extra season put on their bodies. Not everybody, but the nucleus. All the guys that have been there. How many players are battling an injury or battling injuries? I know that everyone's hurt around the NFL, but I'm talking about guys that have been compromised by injury. Either couldn't play or have had to battle through it like Mahomes.
All right, let's move forward. Bengals are out. They could have done more. They didn't. Sorry, Cincy. Moving on. Ben Solak, NFL analyst and ESPN, joined Kay Adams on the Up and Adams show this week to give his hot take about the playoffs.
Ben, let's see the playoff picture, if we could, control room. Make this interesting, so it's not just chalk lines Chiefs. Can you make it interesting in either division? Is there a sneaky team you like? Can we pop
I think both the Lions
and
the Chiefs are going to lose their games after the first round bye. I think that we're going to see both first seeds fall. Which last time it's happened, it was, I want to say like 20. It was in the 2000s. I want to say it was late 2000s. The Chiefs are far from a perfect team. We know this. Absolutely, they've won freaking 15 games, but they have a point differential of like 5. Right? We know that this team plays these tight one-score games, and they're going to run into juggernauts potentially in the AFC playoff picture. Now they're going to get a wild card draw in the division round, same way the Lions are. But man, the 5-seed Chargers. Pretty good ball team. All right, there's absolutely nothing to sneeze at there. Even if they do get 6-seed Steelers, and I know they just beat the Steelers last week, the Steelers can drag you into the mud. The Steelers are very comfortable playing a one-score sleepy game the way the Chiefs are. Then on the other side, the Vikings and the Packers is the 5 and the 6 seed. These are we've never seen a 13-win wildcard team. We have a 14-win wildcard team in the Minnesota Vikings. Those teams can absolutely walk into Detroit and beat a Detroit team that, yes, just did beat the Packers. Yes, just did beat the Vikings, but lost Terry and Arnold potentially to an injury and now has to deal with more shuffling in the secondary. So yeah, I think the 1 seeds this year are not weaker than your average 1 seeds, but they do have very challenging matchups, divisional round and conference round. So yeah, I think we're not getting chalk for sure.
What a take. I love to hear it. I'm not, by the way, my smiling is not co-signing that. I'm not caught saying anything.
Oof. All right, write that one down in your receipts, Chiefs fans. Let's check in now with Nick Wright, who explains the Chiefs' biggest threat in the playoffs. Wright also dives into what's been working in the NFC and how that might not necessarily fly against an AFC quarterback.
No, it's the Bills. It's been the Bills all year, and I didn't get everything right in the preseason, but this was one of them. That the Bills were way, way, way undervalued by the world, and that they were still going to be excellent. And so here's why I think. Tell me because I tried to explain this on the show yesterday, but I don't know if I did a good job of explaining it, or maybe I did do a good job, but it's just my co-hosts aren't as big at gamblers as I am, so it didn't really translate. I said that even though Detroit right now is the favorite to win the Super Bowl, I think that if Detroit played Kansas City in the Super Bowl, Kansas City would be the Vegas favorite. So how do you square those two ideas? And my rationale was, I think what Vegas believes, Detroit is more likely to win the NFC than the Chiefs are to win the AFC. That Detroit's path is cleaner because I would imagine right now, after Detroit and Kansas City, the two biggest Super Bowl public picks are the Bills and the Ravens. And Kansas City is going to have to go through, in all likelihood, one of those teams. And so I don't look at the Lions as the biggest threat. And I do want... Listen, I thought the Lions were going to lose that football game, and they played great. They played great. And listen, Terry and Arnold got hurt. That's another defensive injury. And I know folks saw how they played against Sam Darnold and said, well, what more do you want from them? Like, it doesn't matter they had all these injuries. Look at how great they were. I do not think that specific defensive approach, which I'll explain in a moment, will work against great quarterbacks, which was, we're just sitting in the house, man.
All right, a lot to look forward to. Now we hear from Super Bowl champ and 13-year NFL vet Jason McCourty, who joined Rich Eisen to talk about how Kansas City has flipped the switch at the perfect time.
And it seems like, again, another season of wondering if a flip of a switch is going to happen for a three-peat, and it looks like they've already flipped it, Jason. I'm not going to lie. It looks like they're finishing up strong enough here. I would love to get your thoughts on that subject matter.
Absolutely. And it almost seems like it's not fair. You looked at him all throughout this season and you're saying, well, it's going to be the tackle position that holds them back. There's no way they can win a Super Bowl with what they have on the outside with Wanye Morris and Suamataia. They're not going to be able to figure out that left tackle spot, Juwanta. And then they just moved their all-pro guard, Joe Tooney, over to left tackle. And he just has to block Myles Garrett and all of these Max Crosby and all of these guys, and then gets Watt and Highsmith. And he just continues to hold down the fort. And I agree with you. You get Hollywood Brown back, Jalen Watson. He's just been their cornerback on the other side. He's just been activated to come back from IR as he opens up his practice window. It seems like everything is clicking at the right time. And the more I watch the Kansas City Chiefs, the more I continue to say to myself, there's so many teams throughout this league that they find ways to lose games. We look at it every single week. Matt Eberflus is no longer in Chicago. We criticize everything that they were doing at the end of the game. Raheem Morris just lost a game where he said in retrospect, he probably should have used this timeout. And you just look at the way Kansas City wins football games. The Raiders have them beat. They fumbled a snap at the very end of the game. They block a field goal kick against the Denver Broncos. They are not going to lose the game. They're going to go out there and make the plays in crucial time. And that has a lot to say about Andy Reid and his coaching staff. They figure out ways to win. And now everything is starting to click. They're getting healthy. It's scary hours, I think, for the rest of the league, because we still haven't seen the best from that man this season. Patrick Mahomes, those signature deep throws and all of that. He continues to show up in those clutch moments, but Kansas City, they're looking a lot better now as the season's coming to an end.
We do have a little bit of business, though, to run by you guys on the show as well today. The team has released linebacker Blake Lynch from the practice squad. They've re-signed wide receiver Montrell Washington. Now, Matt Derrick with Chiefs Digest explains that this was the plan all along. The Chiefs needed a linebacker for Week 18 since Christensen and Bozeman exhausted their practice squad elevations. Those, of course, reset in the playoffs. We also have some coaching news. Coaching news per Mike Garafolo. The Jets are requesting an interview with Chiefs defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo for the head coaching spot, sources say. The two-time Giants DC and interim head coach will discuss a potential return to Jersey. We hope not. In addition, the Raiders are also requesting an interview with Chiefs defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo for their head coaching spot. This is per sources, according to The Athletic's Diana Rossini. Now, she also shared that the Tennessee Titans have requested an interview with the Chiefs assistant general manager Mike Borgonzi, per source. All right, folks, that does it for another episode of Chiefs News Daily. You know the drill. We'll be back again tomorrow. In the meantime, we ask that you like and subscribe right here on the KCSN YouTube channel. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, and we'll see you here on Thursday.